Okay, so for this session, we will have another type of aqueous reaction, which is oxidation reduction reaction. So this is also known as the redox reaction. So in the oxidation reduction reaction, or the redox reaction, um, there are two terms. These are two terms. There are two terms in this reaction. We have the oxidation and the reduction. So the species that loses um, the electrons during the chemical reaction, and then there is someone, since may nag-lose, may isa din na magigain ng electrons. So the losing of electron during the chemical reaction is what we call the oxidation process, and then yung gaining naman ng electron during the chemical reaction is what we call the reduction process. So one cannot occur without the other. So kaya tinatawag natin sila na oxidation reduction reaction, because it is impossible that there is only oxidation without reduction reaction. So they act as a um, conjoined reaction siya. I call it conjoined reaction, since the first reaction cannot stand all alone without the second reaction, which is the reduction. So palaging magkasama si oxidation, reduction, reaction. So this is the very reason this reaction is called redox reaction. So in the redox reaction, we uses the oxidation number. So to determine if an oxidation reduction reaction has occurred, we assign an oxidation number to each of the element in a neutral compound or charged entity. So here are the rules of on assigning the oxidation numbers. So elements in their elemental forms have an oxidation number of 0, and the oxidation number of a monoatomic ion is the same as its charge. Then the nonmetals tends to have negative oxidation numbers, although some are positive in certain compounds or ions. Then oxygen has an oxidation number of -2, except in the peroxide ion, in which it has an oxidation number of -1. And the last rule is hydrogen is -1 when bonded to a metal, and positive bonded when bonded to a non-metal. Okay, another set of rules we have. Then the non-metals tends to have negative oxidation numbers, although they have some are positive in certain compounds or ion. Fluorine always has an oxidation number of -1, and the other halogens have an oxidation number of -1 when they are negative, and they can have positive oxidation numbers, most notably in oxyanions. Okay? The sum of the oxidation numbers in neutral compound is 0, and then the sum of the oxidation numbers in a polyatomic ion is the charge on the ion. So whatever is the charge of the polyatomic ion, that will also be the total sum or the total oxidation number of that particular polyatomic ion. So the oxidation reduction reaction, or the redox reaction, is a displacement reaction. Okay? So when we talk about displacement reaction, it is one of the basic chemical reaction, which is also known as the single replacement. So kung kanina, yung una na mga discussion natin, we have the double replacement or the metathesis. Yung redox is a special um, displacement reaction or um, yeah, displacement reaction. So in displacement reactions, the ions oxidized an element. Okay? So again, in displacement reaction, we have um, the ions that oxidizes an element. So we have here in the reactant, we have um, the element and then the oxidizing agent, and then we have now the product, and we have to look into which species um, gain or lose an electron during the chemical reaction. Okay, so for instance, we have here the reactants silver nitrate and copper. Okay, silver nitrate and copper. So silver nitrate is our oxidizing reagent, and then our element is copper. So copper, we intend to oxidize the element using the silver nitrate, and then our product would be copper nitrate, and then silver becomes the element. Okay. So another example, so in symbol, we have here the displacement reaction. So in symbol, we have A plus bx is equal to ax plus b. So as you can see, yung b ay na-replace ni A, at si B yung magiging part siya ng magiging product na magiging solid state siya. Hindi na siya magiging kasama doon sa aqueous solution natin during the chemical reaction. Okay? Example natin, we have the zinc and the hydrobromic acid. And so we have here A yung ating zinc, at yung hydrogen yung ating B, then our X is the bromide. So yung zinc tapos yung bromine natin, we have now the product zinc bromide, and then yung hydrogen natin is another product which is in gaseous form. So this is an example of a displacement reaction. Okay? Alright, so for our example, we have the reaction between aluminum and hydrobromic acid, and the task is we have to write the balanced molecular and net ionic equation. So first is we have to come up with the molecular equation. So we have the reaction between aluminum and the bromic acid. Okay, we have here aluminum, and then we have here a guide on the top. Aluminum plus bromine, we have aluminum bromide. How we come up with AlBr3. So aluminum, we have positive 3 charge for aluminum, and bromine has negative 1. By virtue of cross charge, we have the chemical formula for aluminum bromide is AlBr3. And then next is our B is our hydrogen. So we have here hydrogen ion. So lahat ng mga gaseous state should be in diatomic lahat ng mga molecules ng ating hydrogen, they can form into diatomic molecule. So thereafter we write it in diatomic form. And we have here 2 sa iyahan subscript. And to balance the equation, we have to write 2 in aluminum, 6 in hydrobromic, 2 in the aluminum bromide, and 3 for our hydrogen. So let us check if our coefficients are right and it made our molecular equation balanced. Aluminum in the reactant, we have 2 in our product. We also have 2. Hydrogen, we have 6. In here, we also have 6 hydrogen. Bromine, we have 6. We also have 6. 2 times 3, we have 6 bromine in our product. So, balance na yung ating equation. And next na task natin is to write the net ionic equation. For us to write the net ionic equation, we need the complete ionic equation. Okay? So since it is in solid state, thereafter we shall have to copy it, and then um, hydrobromic acid. The hydrobromic acid is one of the strong acids. Thereafter, it will dissociate completely when in contact with water because it is strong. It is a strong electrolyte. So we have 6 hydrogen ion plus 6 bromine ion. So as mentioned in the rules, hydrogen shall have positive charge if it reacts with the halogens. So na-mention yun kanina sa mga rules. And then in our product, we have aluminum bromide. So yung aluminum bromide natin ay ionic compound as mentioned in the rule of solubility and identifying electrolytic behavior. Lahat ng mga ionic compounds ay um, strong electrolyte. So thereafter, it will dissociate into its ionic form when dissolved in water. So thereafter, we have here aluminum ion plus the bromine ion. Okay? So, bakit naging 6 ito? You might ask. We have here subscript of 3 times 2. That is why we have here 6. Yung aluminum ay 2 lang kasi wala naman siyang subscript. And then, we have to copy the 3 molecules of hydrogen. Hydrogen, which is, since it is in gaseous state. So, yung ginagawan lang natin ng yun ng ating mga ionic form ay yung mga aqueous state and that are electrolytic. Next is to identify which of the species are spectator ions. So let us be reminded that pag sinabi natin na spectator ions, these are ions that did not change their physical state from the reactant to the product. So tingnan natin, yung hydrogen natin is aqueous. So yung solid, hindi naman siya sabi natin kanina, pag sinabi natin na spectator, ion siya. So hindi to ion, so thereafter hindi na siya kasama. Later on, we will just copy that. What about hydrogen? Hydrogen ion, we have positive 1 aqueous. Pag sa product, wala na tayo walang hydrogen ion. Aqueous, naging gaseous na siya, so hindi siya kasama sa mga mako-consider natin na spectator ion. What about bromine? Yung bromine natin is aqueous at sa product natin yung bromine is aqueous pa rin. So thereafter, we have to cross out bromine in the complete ionic equation for us to arrive with the net ionic equation. So in writing the net ionic equation, we just disregard or drop the spectator ions, and we have now 2 molecules of aluminum in solid state plus 6 molecules of hydrogen ion plus 2 which yields to 2 molecules of aluminum ion plus the 3 molecules of diatomic hydrogen in gaseous state. So the next step is to identify which one is oxidized and which one is reduced. So as mentioned in our discussion earlier, pag sinabi natin na oxidized, it loses electron, at pag sinabi naman natin na reduced, it this is the one that gains the electron. So using the rules na mention natin kanina in assigning the oxidation number, tingnan natin kung ano yung magiging charge ng mga oxidation number ng ating net ionic equation. So sa aluminum, since it is in solid state, and sabi doon pag nasa elemental form and in ground state, yung oxidation number natin ay 0. What about for hydrogen? Sabi naman doon, yung hydrogen, pag nag-react daw sa mga halogen, that is group 7A, positive 1 yung kanyang magiging charge. Kung ano daw yung charge ng ion, yun din yung kanyang assigned oxidation number. So pati din yung sa ating aluminum, magiging positive 3 ito kasi positive 3 yung kanyang charge, at yung hydrogen natin, since in ground state siya, so 0 na rin yung kanyang charge. So with this, can we now identify which one is oxidized and which one is reduced? So by inspection, tingnan natin yung nangyari sa aluminum. From 0, naging positive 3. That means it loses electrons. How many electrons? 3 per atom. Okay, so 3 per atom. So thereafter, so yung aluminum natin yung ating oxidized substance. At din yung hydrogen naman natin ay from positive ion, it becomes 0. So thereafter, since positive to 0, siya yung nag-gain ng electron. So thereafter, siya yung reduced substance or reduced species. Okay? So again, yung patatandaan natin dito, the one that loses electron is our oxidized, and the one that gained electron is our reduced. So in this example, we have aluminum as the oxidized substance and hydrogen as our reduced substance. Okay, so for your assignment, we have the practice exercise. Write the balanced molecular and the net ionic equation for the reaction between magnesium and cobalt 2 sulfate. And the second problem is you have to identify which one is oxidized and which one is the reduced in the reaction. Okay, so for this slide, so one of the questions that might occur in your mind is that paano nagkakaroon ng hydrogen gas product yung reaction. So for example, doon kahanina, we have aluminum that reacts with hydrobromic acid. So dito, we have to consider yung isa sa properties ng ating mga substances, which is the activity series. So sinasabi dito na pag mas mataas daw yung kanyang activity series, so mas magiging reactive daw yung substances. And they are most likely to occur as ions. Okay? So yung ating pag yung activity series ng ating reactant, let's say mas higher sa hydrogen yung kanyang activity series, so most likely magpo-produce ito ng hydrogen gas in the product. Okay, so another kind of aqueous reaction is the metal acid displacement reaction. this is still tawag dito single single replacement or displacement reaction. So in this kind of reaction, the elements above the hydrogen will react with acid to produce hydrogen gas. So kasama na din yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina na halimbawa yung aluminum reacts with the hydrobromic acid, and this will result to the production of hydrogen gas molecules. And then with this kind of reaction, the metal is oxidized to a cation. So pag sinabi natin na cation, it will become a positively charged ion. So example natin, will an aqueous solution of iron 2 chloride oxidize magnesium metal? If so, write the balanced molecular and net ionic equations for the reaction. So tingnan natin yung iron chloride, iron, tapos yung ating magnesium metal. So tingnan natin yung magnesium. Magnesium is higher than the, where is iron? We have here. So magnesium is higher than the iron. So thereafter, mag-react yung ating aqueous solution ng magnesium with that of the magnesium metal. Okay? So sabi dito yung tingnan natin yung rule. So yung magnesium must be above the iron because iron is our positive ion. So kung titingnan natin, so we have here the iron, and then we have here the magnesium. So magnesium is above iron, thereafter it will react and oxidize the magnesium metal. So next step is to write the balanced molecular equation. Okay? So we have magnesium metal plus the iron chloride, iron 2 chloride. So since we have here iron 2, that means our iron has a charge of positive 1. Positive 2. Positive 2 yung ginamit natin. And then chlorine has negative 1 charge. So pag nagkaroon ng single replacement, magnesium chloride is produced. So magnesium has positive 2 also. Kaya 2 din yung kanyang subscript ng ating chlorine by virtue of cross charge. And then we have chlorine. So we have now another product of the reaction is the iron in solid state. So next is the net ionic equation. So we have to inspect and identify the species that occurs in aqueous state and categorize them as ionic or covalent. If it is ionic, it is strong electrolyte, and if it is covalent, we have to distinguish if it is a strong or weak base or acid. So in this case, we have iron chloride, iron 2 chloride. Iron 2 chloride is ionic compound. Thereafter, it will dissociate into its ionic forms. We have iron 2, tapos yung magnesium chloride naman natin, iron positive, iron ion, and then chlorine ion. And then yung magnesium chloride din natin is also considered ionic compound. Thereafter, it will dissociate into its ionic form. We have magnesium ion and chlorine ion. plus the iron. And then we cancel out or cross out the um, spectator ions, magnesium, um, iron, tingnan natin. Nag-change ba? Yes, nag-change from aqueous, naging solid. And then, yung chlorine natin, from aqueous pa rin siya. So, spectator ion natin yung chlorine. So, aside from that, wala nang iba pang mga spectator ions. So, we drop the complete ionic equation and then we rewrite it to the net ionic equation excluding yung spectator ion. So we have magnesium metal which is in solid state plus the ion, then the product we have magnesium ion and the iron. Then we identify which one is oxidized and which one is um, reduced. So magnesium is 0 yung kanyang um, ionization, hindi ionization, oxidation number. And then yung iron natin is positive 2 kasi positive 2 yung kanyang charge. And then yung magnesium natin is positive 2 yung kanyang charge. Thereafter, magiging positive 2 din yung kanyang what do you call this one? Ang kanyang oxidation number. And then for iron, we have 0 since in solid state siya at in ground state. Okay, tingnan natin. So, si magnesium from the reactant is 0, naging positive 2. Thereafter, siya yung nag-lose. Ibig sabihin, yung magnesium yung ating oxidized. And then, yung iron naman natin, from positive 2, nag-gain siya, nag-0 siya. So, thereafter, siya yung reduced natin. Okay? So, magnesium is the oxidized and iron is our reduced. Okay, so for your practice exercise, which of the following metals will be oxidized by lead nitrate? Is it zinc, copper, or iron? And then after identifying which one will be oxidized by the lead nitrate, just like what we did, you write the balance molecular equation and then the net ionic equation and identify which one is the oxidized and the reduced. So that's all for today, class. I hope you have learned something from our discussion, and thank you for bearing with me. And I hope you would understand that I will not be able to conduct our face-to-face classes because of the call of duty. I have to attend to an equally important task, that is to set as one of the panels during the final defense of the third year students. Okay, so that would be all. Thank you so much, and I hope you learned something.